Alyssa Lombardi. I'm from Greene, Ohio, and I'm a senior at Bowling Green State University, graduating in May with a degree in two-dimensional art and arts management, so that's like the business side of art. And I like to dip my bananas in ketchup. I started as an artist, I think as far as I can remember, or at least my parents say that. My grandma was an artist, a few of my aunts and uncles and cousins were artists in different forms, so I kind of just went off of what they did and got inspiration for that, and that's pretty much what I was good at growing up. So I continued that through elementary school and middle school, and then to high school. That's where I think I got a little bit more serious with it and realized I wanted to go to college for it. My cousin went to BGSU, so I knew what it was, but not for a while did I think that I was going to go away to college. My parents wanted me to stay at home, but I went to a cheerleading clinic with my friend and I loved it, and I told my parents, it's not that far away. I really like it here. So a few months after that, I had a tour and I loved it. My dad thought it was weird that there was like a cemetery on campus, but I didn't even care. The tour guide was super nice. Everyone was really friendly too, which I wasn't used to. And I fell in love with it, so I applied there, and I honestly didn't even apply anywhere else. I figured if I didn't get in there, then I would end up going to a community college, so I was excited. I started at BG. When I was at BG, I got involved in a lot. I was really involved in H2O Church and Bikes for Tykes, and I wanted to join the juggling club, but BG Cheer wouldn't let me do that, so I didn't end up doing that. But my main two were BG Cheer and the art department, different areas with that, and then eventually I got more involved in BG Group X too. My first experience at BGSU was definitely stressful. I took on a lot in the beginning, and I didn't realize how much integrating cheerleading and art would be, since I couldn't really relate to a lot of people on the team in that way. So there were times where I would go to cheerleading workouts with like charcoal on my face because I was trying to pull an all-nighter, and then I ended up falling asleep on my work. And shortly after a few times of doing that, one professor told me, Alyssa, you've got to make a choice, like you're running yourself thin. But freshman year in the beginning, it was still really fun. I learned a lot, and then that kind of took me into realizing I needed to take my career a little bit more seriously. Through all of the craziness, I learned that to put away like the criticism, people would tell me, you really won't make a career out of art, could you think of something else? Or professors would say, I think you should take your fitness career to rest and focus on your art. So I had to learn to push away a lot of that criticism and focus on, well, if it's my passion, then I can make it into something. So in the beginning, I listened to people and did what they wanted, and then I realized I wasn't happy. So the biggest thing I guess I could say that I learned is just to keep pushing, because I can do a lot more than I think when I put everything else aside. Art in the beginning for me was something that almost felt like a job. There were teachers telling me that I needed to draw a certain way, I needed to make this right, and I was striving action all the time, and I kind of got burn out from it. And it wasn't just art, it was other aspects of my life where if I didn't achieve the perfection, which no one ever can, I got really frustrated with myself. And there were a few times, like halfway through my college career, where I struggled, like I feel like a lot of students do, not exactly depression, but just I lost some confidence in myself. I compared myself a lot to people around me, and when one of my family members was struggling with alcohol abuse, I think that's when I stepped back at my life and I looked at it and I said, life really can be short. I need to just take the time to pay attention to people and not so much compare myself, but just love other people through that. And I think that's when my art started to evolve, because I wanted to be around people. I wanted to help other people, and then that gave me new ideas to things and being open. And I stopped trying to paint realistic things and went into more of an abstract way, and I think during that time I let myself get out of the box a little bit, and I started to have some fun. So I didn't get into the figure, like painting that as much because I was intimidated by it, but when I did BG Group X, there were a few girls that were interested in doing some like photography sessions with me, and they told me afterwards that it helped them boost their confidence, that fitness is something that they can look back at in their life and be really proud that they did it. So painting these, it's not something that I was so worried about making a perfect line. It was just knowing that I made a difference in someone else's life. So I can definitely say my artwork went from trying super hard to just like, yeah, actually I can think of the turning point for that. I was interning my sophomore year up in Toledo, so it's a 20-minute drive. It was basketball season, and I had to be at a game. And I was rushing back, I was driving back, and I was trying to put my bow in my hair, and I literally remember looking in the mirror and being like, what are you doing? Like, this is way too much for you. I was stretching myself thin. I was turning into a person that just wasn't me. I was angry all the time, exhausted, and I realized at that moment when I got to the game, as I was cheering, I'm like, I love this sport, but I can't continue to at least live this life the way that I'm trying to. Shortly after that, and I think in between sophomore and junior year is when I just said I can't do it anymore. I need to do some things for myself, and I learned that that's actually not selfish to choose yourself, especially in college. If I could tell myself one thing my freshman year, it would be to constantly surround myself with people that not are exactly like me, but people that I am inspired by and people that drive me to be better. At times in my college career, I let myself be around people that made me negative, made me question myself and if I'm good at this or good at that. And then eventually I found my way towards people who like brought out the best in me, and it changed the way that I looked at everything. So not saying that I had really bad friendships, but I think going back, if I could tell myself just to really focus on those true friends that care about me. When I leave BGSU, I think I want everyone else to know that you can make a career out of anything. If you're passionate towards something, no matter what people tell you, if you continue to grow in that, get better at that, and then you'll eventually have people come into your life that lead you where you want to be.